Hello everyone. Excellent evening everyone. Excellent evening to every one of us and happy new month. New month. It's September. We have entered the Mba month and this is 0209. You are highly welcome to this evening's broadcast. Welcome. Today we are looking at the ultimate guide to stress. What are the causes of stress? We're going to be looking at the symptoms of stress and also natural solutions for stress. We're going to be looking at all this evening. You're highly welcome. If you've joined me live, you can greet. I can welcome you to this evening's broadcast. Welcome to every one of us. I hope we're all doing very, very great. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at quite a number of topics concerning stress. But first of all, I just want to tell you again that we are on other social media. I'm streaming live on Facebook now. We're on TikTok, Aging with Grace, Instagram, Aging with Grace, YouTube, Aging with Grace, and of course, Facebook, Aging with Grace. So feel free to follow us, share, like, and comment, and also ask questions, okay? We really appreciate your support. So if you've joined me live, you can greet. So I can welcome you to this evening's broadcast. Welcome as we look at stress, causes, symptoms, natural remedies, and I'm also going to be showing you different parts of your body and what the parts of your body and what stress can, the symptoms of stress on those parts of your body. So you're highly welcome. Share. Kindly help me share. I'm sharing right now. So let's share so that others can join us this evening and actually get to know what they need to know concerning stress. Okay, I'm going to give you a summary and a brief, comprehensive, brief, apt, details you need to know about stress. Okay, I'll be as fast as possible, and I'm going to touch quite a lot of things, and I'm going to explain a lot. So please share. You have someone there who is going through stress, going through anxiety, going through irritability. This is the time to ask them to join us live this evening, okay? As we talk about stress. Of course, we all know that stress is a biological response. I hope you're sharing with me. It's a biological response to a perceived threat, okay? And it's caused by chemicals and hormones surging throughout our body, and it can actually help you in responding to particular problems. Stress is very okay. But when stress now becomes too much, that's when it's harmful to the body. But we have positive stress. We have stress that is actually very good, that God has already ordained, that should help us in handling issues in our bodies, okay? But when all this becomes too much, that's when it's now a problem, when stress now becomes a problem for everyone. So like I said, if you join me live, you can greet and let's share so I can welcome you to this evening's broadcast. Hello Raymond, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Good evening. So if you've joined me live, you can greet so I can welcome you. I know this is not particularly menopause. If it's menopause, everywhere will be filled. But of course, some people are going through stress. They don't know, and they are thinking maybe it's also menopause. So stress actually, stress triggers your fight or flight response. Your fight or flight response is being triggered by stress in order for you to fight the stressor or you run away from it. So like I said, it's the natural process, and typically after that response occurs, your body should relax. So stress that responds to the fight or flight is not bad, but then after that your body should relax. So too much constant stress can now have negative effects on you. So today we're going to be looking at all about stress. Like I said, what is stress? We'll define stress. We'll talk about stress hormones. We talk about stress and cortisol. We talk about the types of stress, the causes of stress, the symptoms of stress, and then we go through some conclusion. So what is stress all about? Stress isn't necessarily a bad thing at all. Stress is not really a bad thing, okay? It's what happened like in those days when our fathers used to fight, hunting, okay, it's stress that makes them to know, you know, sometimes they will have this thing, they will say maybe you have a goose pimple or you have something like hair that is coming up. So it's tries to warn you about danger, and then now helps you to know whether you should run or you should face the danger. So it can be healthy. Stress can be healthy when it helps you to avoid an accident or to meet up a tight deadline. You know, sometimes when you're meeting up a deadline for whichever thing, maybe a write-up, a thesis, or whatever, you're going through stress, okay? And stress also sometimes helps you to stay calm or focused. So when things are getting frustrating, you need a level of stress to be able to go through that situation. So stress is not all bad. Okay, we all feel stress at times, but what one person finds stressful may be different from what another person finds stressful. Okay, like for me, physical activities don't make me stressed, but emotional things get me, you know, thinking things, logical things, they get me stressed sometimes. So people have their different stress level and different things that causes them, you know, stress. Like now, there are people that if you give them microphone where there are many people, they start feeling stressed up. But there are people that are happy to take that microphone. Like among my grandchildren, there's one that likes public show, things like that. She likes being seen. If I say, come, let's do live, she's the first one that will come out and say, hey, Then you will see the other one going backward. You know, it's stressful for her. She doesn't want anybody to hear or notice her. But when she's behind her system, she can do everything. So that's stress. Like I said, stress, what someone finds stressful will be different from what another person finds stressful. So stress isn't always a bad thing, okay? Like, for example, on people's wedding day, they feel a little stressed. Are things going to go well? Will this one go well? Will that one go well? Okay? So such stress are temporal. They are not permanent. Okay? So, but once you've passed through all those fight to flight moments, your heart rate and breathing should then slow down and your muscles should then relax, and in a short time your body will return to its natural state without any lasting negative effects. On the other hand, severe, frequent or prolonged stress can be mentally and physically harmful, and that's really, really common these days. Talk about Nigeria today. A lot of people are going through stress. So life being what it is, it's not possible for you to eliminate stress completely, but we can all learn to avoid it by managing it and also not allowing it come up when we can avoid it. Hello, Gertrude Koranke, you're welcome. Welcome to this evening's broadcast. Thank you for joining me. So stress is a normal biological reaction to a potential dangerous situation. When you encounter sudden stress, your brain floods your body with chemicals and hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, okay? And that will get your heart beating faster. It will send blood to your muscles and the important organs, and you will feel energized, you know, to have, you know, that energy to focus and fight whatever situation it is, okay? So there are different stages of stress. So if you know the stages of stress, then you'll be able to know which stage you are in or which stage normally, you know, because when you have an information, it will help you to know what to do in the things that are happening to you. So when you sense a danger, what happens when you sense danger? Okay, the first thing that happens is that your hypothalamus at the base of your brain reacts. It will now send nerves and hormone signals to your adrenaline gland, and then it will now release abundance of adrenaline and cortisol. And these hormones are nature's way of preparing you to face that danger in case, you know, to give you a chance for survival. Like now, if something is happening, like people who are committing by bus, and suddenly the bus begins to, you know, turn immediately, and then the bus driver stops, the first thing that will happen to your body is that your body will just release adrenaline and cortisol right into your system. And then your heart will begin to beat faster because it's sending blood to your muscles and your important organs. You have this energy that you cannot describe that will make you so much aware and so much focus on your environment, and then you will now begin to, move. That's what the nature prepares you for, you to face that survival instinct. And one of these hormones is adrenaline, and again, it's also called the fight-flight hormone. And adrenaline will increase your heartbeat. Your heart will begin to beat faster. The rate of beating will become faster, and then it will make it easier for your muscle to use glucose. And then it will also contract your blood vessels so that blood is directed to your muscle to give you that energy that you need. It will also stimulate perspiration and inhibits insulin production. While this is helpful for that moment that you're passing through the stress, frequent adrenaline can now lead to other negative things. And that's why it's not good for one to have such frequent situations, okay, where your adrenaline is released. Because when you have frequent release of adrenaline, it will damage your blood vessels. It can lead to high blood pressure, hypertension, higher risk of heart attack and stroke, okay? Again, cortisol is another hormone when we're talking about stress. Hello, Grace Udofia, you're welcome. Ajibike, thank you for joining us. Olabisi, thank you. Patricia Oribabo, thank you for joining us. So stress and cortisol. Cortisol is another hormone, okay? And the main stress hormone is cortisol, and it plays an essential role in stressful situations, okay? First of all, when you're going through stressful situation, what happens is that the hormone, the glucose in your bloodstream increases. Cortisol will make the glucose in your bloodstream to increase. It will also help your brain to use that glucose more effectively. Cortisol will also raise the accessibility of substances that will help to repair your tissue, okay? And then it will restrain the functions of non-essential things in those situations. It will alter your immune system response, dampening the reproductive system and also your growth process. These are all that cortisol will do. Cortisol will also affect the part of your brain that control fear, motivation, and mood. And all this that cortisol is doing will help you to deal effectively with that stress situation at that moment. So it's a normal process, and it's very, very crucial for human survival. But if your cortisol level stays high for too long, that's the problem. Remember, when you're in a stressful situation, it should be short. And when you finish passing through that stress situation, everything is supposed to return to normal. But when you now have too high frequency of stress situation, it can now have a negative effect on your health. So when cortisol is released more frequently than normal, it will bring forth weight gain, high blood pressure like adrenaline, sleep problems, lack of energy. It can bring forth type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, that's reduction in the density of your bone, mental cloudiness, brain fog, and memory problems. In fact, when you have frequent release of cortisol, it can also bring forth weakened immune system, leaving you more vulnerable to infectious disease. It can also have a negative impact on your mood. You become irritable, and you can also have, that anxiety. It can also bring forth that anxiety. So now, one thing is that too much of everything is bad. That's what's happening here. Too much of release of adrenaline, very bad for you. Too much of release of cortisol, very bad for you. But when it's released at the moment of stress situation and it's withdrawn again, it's okay. Now, there are three types of stress, three major types of stress, okay? The first one is acute stress. The second one is episodic acute stress, and the third one is chronic stress. Now let's take acute stress. Acute stress happens to everyone, and is the body's immediate reaction to a new and challenging situation. For example, you're going for an interview and you just enter the office and you just see suddenly the MD of the company, you know, acute stress. It comes suddenly on you. All right. And it's the body's immediate response to a new and challenging situation, and it's the kind of stress you might feel when you normally want to escape an accident also, okay? Acute stress can also come out of something that you actually enjoy, okay? Like if you enter roller coaster. I've done that roller coaster with the children, I think once or twice. When they were younger, I didn't really feel bad, but when they were teenagers and I went with them, you know, some of that kind of place, I can remember the one that just flew up. Immediately it flew up, my heart just jumped out of my heart, boom! And before you know it, within 2 minutes, the thing just did boom, my heart jumped again, okay? That's an acute stress situation, okay? It's thrilling, you feel good, but you also feel, you know, there's a way I really don't know how to explain it very, very well. So frightening at the same time, feeling good at the same time, okay? And these incidents of acute stress don't normally do you any harm. I finished coming out of that, and as I came out of the roller coaster, I was myself again. Everything normalized, my body, everything became okay, okay? They might even be very, very good for you, and that's why people go on roller coasters. But stressful situations give your body and brain some practice in developing the best response for future stressful situations. People who don't go through stress at all, everything is moving on very well for them. If they grow old and they now suddenly have a stressful situation, they have it really, really bad at that point in time. Hello, Bolaji, Ojebo, Hope. You're all welcome to this evening's broadcast. Good evening, Bolaji Adeoye. Hope, good evening. Okay, so once a danger passes, your body system should return to normal. Severe acute stress is a different, you know, story. When we talk about episodic acute stress, that's severe acute stress. This kind of stress, such as when you face a life-threatening situation, can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder or mental health problems. Somebody told me about someone that died yesterday, and I was like, oh wow, what happened? Why did the person die now? So the guy said that the man lost his wife last year, so he is now depending on his 2 sons. And the first son was the one that is actually working and making money, and the second one is staying there with him to take care of him. So that the first child now came back to give the father a bad news. Oh, he had accidents with one of his vehicles, and then the second vehicle, he deals with all these trailer loads and travel. So he said the second one, they encountered a 419 person who gave them a false load, you know, something like that. So as he was telling his father that thing, as he finished telling his father, he just ran into the toilet, and that's how the man just collapsed and died. Okay, so that's an, you know, like a severe acute stress. Such episodic acute stress is when you have frequent episode of acute stress. The man lost his child, lost the wife. As they're talking about losing the wife, he's trying to come out of it. The breadwinner now of the house is telling him story about, you know, things like that. So it's caused anxiety and worry, and it might actually happen to everyone. So when you might actually feel that your life is chaotic and seemingly go for one crisis to the other. When somebody is going through that, the person is going through episodic stress, okay? So like some people's job, occupation, make them go through frequent episodic acute stress. Like people who have law enforcement people, firefighters, sometimes some people in medical field that are seeing dead people or people dying in their hands, things like that, okay? So episodic acute stress can affect your physical health, and it can also affect your mental well-being. So when you have high stress level for extended period of time, that is the third type of stress, which is the chronic stress. Okay, you have the acute stress, you have the severe or episodic acute stress, and then you have chronic stress. Chronic stress is when you have stress for a prolonged period of time. Long-term stress like this can actually have negative impact on your health if you have chronic stress or stress that has been prolonged for long, it can contribute to your being anxious. It can contribute to having cardiovascular diseases, depression, high blood pressure, weakened immune system. One thing with stress is that ultimately it will weaken your immune system, and when it does that, other infection or diseases will begin to come in. Like chronic stress can actually lead to frequent ailments like headaches, stomach upset. Do you know that somebody can be stressed and it can lead to stomach upset? Sleep difficulty, that one we all know it. When people are going through stress and depression, they can't sleep well. Then getting insight into the different types of stress can help you recognize which one you're going through and actually know what to do about them. Remember, I said there are some stress that are okay, but how you know stresses that are okay is that once you're out of it, you become your normal self, you're okay again, and you not go through all that over and over. Now, okay, so let's look at some of the causes of stress. Some typical causes of stress or chronic stresses include living through a natural or man-made disaster. Natural disaster can cause stress. Chronic illnesses can, begin to cause stress for some people. Surviving a life-threatening accident or illness can make someone to become stressful, or someone who is a victim of crime can make you stressful, okay? And then if somebody also is in abusive relationship, it can be stressful. Unhappy marriage can cause stress, emotional stress, psychological stress for a lot of people. Prolonged divorce proceeding. Some people who are going through separation, divorce, it can cause a lot of stress for them. Hello, welcome. Grace, how are you doing? Good evening. Patricia, thank you. And again, some people who also have problem children, that can also cause a kind of stress. And those who have loved ones that have chronic illnesses that are prolonged, like dementia, stroke and things like that, it can cause stress. Poverty is another big stressor. Homelessness, you're living in a place where you don't like, or you're living with someone, you're just managing, it can cause stress. Working in dangerous professions, what of that? Can be very, very stressful. Every time you're going to work, you're wondering what you're going to be facing the next day, okay? And then people who have little work-life balance, working longer hours, having a job that they hate, it can also cause depression or stress. Military deployment, there are some people that, not even only military, people who are working in offices or places where they would deploy you to one office or the other. I can remember one man that joined my business, our company. One of the reasons why he just left his workplace and came to do our forever business was because he said that within 3 years, they had transferred him to like 6 different locations. And each location, he had to stop the school of the children, move them to a new school, get a new house. Imagine 6 locations in 6 months. He says there was even one that he stayed 2 months. That they had not even settled. And they, what do they normally call? They relocated him again. They deployed him to another place. So he became very, very disgusted, very stressed up and things like that, okay? There is actually no end to the things that can cause a person's stress, because they are all various, different for different people. Like I say, what can cause a stress might be another thing that will cause another person. So, but whatever the cause, the effect on our bodies can be very, very serious if left unmanaged. So you need to actually explore other personal, emotional, and traumatic causes of stress to find out all the things that would cause you stress. So to find out this, you can go check out the symptoms, okay? Some of the symptoms of stress could be chronic pain. Just as we have different things that could stress us out, symptoms can also be different. It can be different from one person to the other. Although you're not likely to have all the symptoms that I'm going to mention, but there are some that you might have, and that might also, you begin to look at whether you're going through stress. Sometimes some people don't even know that a situation is stressful for them. It's until the symptoms come that they'll begin to know, oh, this is it, even if they know. at last. You know, there are some things that you don't like to do, and if you do them frequently, they can begin to cause little stress for you, small, little by little, okay? So some of the symptoms, some of the things that will happen, and you begin to wonder, am I being stressed? Is chronic pain. When you're having pain, you don't know why your body is paining you. Sometimes you finish resting 2-3 days, you still find out that your body is aching you. So those chronic pains could be a sign of stress. And then insomnia and other sleep problems, either that you're not sleeping well, or you're not sleeping long enough, or you're not sleeping enough on time, or you're waking up in the middle of the night and you cannot sleep. I've described these 4 things. They could all be stress issue. Low sex drive is another thing that could be a stress issue. And then eating too much or too little can also be a stress issue. You need to check it out. It might also be because of stress that you're going through it, okay? Fatigue is another thing that could be stress. Fatigue could be another thing that could be stress. When you're going through fatigue, it could be that you're stressing your body too much, okay? All right, so, and then you might also feel overwhelmed, irritable, and also fearful. If you're overwhelmed, if you're irritable and you're fearful, it could actually also be stress. So whether you are aware of it or not, you may also begin to do indulge in some things, like you might begin to do too much of, maybe eat too much of one food or the other, or have cravings for some kind of things. Like some people will now begin to drink, begin to smoke. Some people will begin to eat certain things that they didn't used to eat, or eat too much of those things that they didn't used to eat, okay? Also, stress can cause, another symptom is headache, tension headaches due to tense muscles in the head, on your face, on your neck, okay? Some of these symptoms of stress headache could be mild or moderate dull health pain. You will just be having pim on the head. You will be wondering, is this still headache? What's happening to you? But you just find out that it's there. You can also have a band of pressure around your forehead, as if they put a load on your forehead. And then sometimes some people have this tenderness of their scalp. The scalp that are here, it will become softer than usual, okay? Many things can actually trigger tension headache, but those tight muscles could also be because of emotional stress or anxiety, okay? Another thing that's symptom of stress is what we call the stress ulcer. A stress ulcer is a type of peptic ulcer, and it's like making the lining of your stomach sour, okay? And when this happens, it increases one of the bacteria in the system called H. bacteria, Helicobacter pylori. That's the kind of bacteria that causes ulcer. It will now increase it by reducing also the good bacteria in your system. Then when this happens also, stress ulcer can also come if you begin to use some kind of pain relief, anti-inflammatory drugs, you know, and they could bring that. Also, physical stress may affect how your ulcer heals. There are some people who already have ulcer. You know, there are different things that can cause ulcer. It's not just stress. Bad food can cause ulcer. When you have higher number of bad bacteria in your colon, it can cause ulcer, and so many other things, okay? But if you already have ulcer, stress can increase the impact of the ulcer and also reduce and affect the way the ulcer heals, okay? Physical stress can also be due to trauma or physical injury in the brain, central nervous system, serious long-term illness or injury, or surgical procedure that one could have. Also, heartburn and pain in the stomach can also lead to emotional stress. When someone it's always like, there's one woman that after a while she says, no, well, I've taken this medicine, it's so stressful for me now. Another symptom of stress is stress eating. Some people react to stress by eating, even if they are not hungry. Okay, they'll just find themselves eating without thinking. Anything they see, they put in their stomach. They can wake up in the middle of the night, they are eating. Anytime you just find that they are eating. So when people stress it makes them to take in a lot more calories than their body actually needs. And again, they will not be able to be intentional about the food they are eating. So they just eat anything. They won't eat healthy. And this can lead to rapid weight gain and a host of other health problems. Okay? So we need to be very, very careful. If you're eating to relieve stress, it's time for you to find other management stress technique or coping technique that you can use. The fourth way stress can manifest is stress at work. Work can be the source of great stress for many people, and this kind of stress can be occupational stress, it can be occasional, and it can be chronic and prolonged. Stress at work can actually come from you feeling a lack of power to control whatever that is happening. There are some people who are in an offices and they have this bad boss. I've had a lot of people talk about it. Their immediate boss can just be their problem in the whole life that they are having, and they are giving them stress, not even the owner of the company and things like that. Some people feel stuck in a job they don't like doing, and they seem not to find an alternative. Let me tell us something. There's always alternative in life. There's always an alternative. Sometimes the thing you fear is actually afraid of you. Sometimes what you fear is actually afraid of you. So you might need to just come out and make sure you take up that job that you are afraid of and make sure that you do it. I talked with some people on Thursday last week, and I talked about second stream of income. Let me just chip it there. If you're in a job and you don't like and you feel stuck in that job, start off a second stream of income as a part-time. I can help you to do that. I'm also raising people who are doing a part-time income. Okay, I find out from you how many minutes can you spare a day or a week, how many hours can you spare a week. We use those hours you can spare and start off something you can start doing. So as you start doing it as a part-time, when it starts fetching you enough money, you can easily come out from there. Two things it will do for you if you're in a job and you feel stuck and you don't like that job. Number one, it will give you something that can give you pleasure, something that can give you hope, something that can give you, another thing to give you pleasure in. That's one thing that you look forward to. Then two, it's helping you to gradually build up in a way that you finally leave that job you don't like. So being made to do things you don't think you should do, experiencing a conflict with your co-worker, having too much to be asked from you, you feel overused. If you're in a job you hate, or you're always responding to others' demand without any control, stress will be unavoidable. And for you to come out of that stress, you need to do something different from what you are doing. So sometimes quitting or fighting for more work-life balance is the right thing to do. So like I said, work-life balance, quitting or finding something else you're doing at that moment. Of course, some jobs are just more dangerous than others, such as people who work in emergency unit, firefighters and things like that. Okay, if you're in church profession and it's beginning to give you a lot of stress, you need to think twice about it. Finding balance and managing your stress is very, very important to maintain your mental health, so that you don't just die suddenly for nothing. All right, so let's briefly look at stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety often go hand in hand. They are 5 and 6. Stress and anxiety are 5 and 6. Stress comes from the demands placed on your brain and your body. Anxiety is when you feel high level of worries, unease, high level of fear. Anxiety can certainly be an offshoot of episodic or chronic stress, Hello, Ngozi Nwoka, you're welcome. Gracious Grace, welcome. Floxy Ogali, Iyabo Taiwo, welcome. I wish you people can greet, and I wish you can also ask questions when you come into someone's house. Please greet, say something, drop something on the comment section, even if it's like or thumbs up. Do that, okay? Now, having both stress and anxiety can have a severe, thank you for the thumbs up, I appreciate. Having both stress and anxiety can have a severe negative impact on your health, making you more likely to develop high blood pressure, heart diseases, diabetes, panic disorder. A lot of women during menopause begin to develop panic disorder, depression, irritability, okay? Stress and anxiety can be treated. They can be managed. They can be reversed. Don't stay with them. There is solution for you. In fact, there are many strategies and resources that can help you with this, okay? So you start by discussing with someone. There are some people that just going to their pastor talking about it. Those stresses will go. Going to the medical doctor talking about it. Calling up someone like health enthusiasts and nutritionists like us can actually help you. So if you've talked about it's better for you to begin to do something about it. Now, the goal of stress management isn't to get rid of stress. Remember that I told us that stress can be good. Stress has its own positive effect. It's not only impossible actually for you to remove stress completely. Stress can be healthy in many and some situations. So in order to manage stress, first you have to identify the things that are causing that stress, and that's why I listed a lot of things earlier on, okay? And that is called your triggers. What are your stress triggers? You need to note what your stress triggers are. Figure out which of these stress triggers you can avoid. That's the first place. So what do I advise? Get a notebook. Write down all the things that causes you stress. Everything, I mean everything, from A to Z. If you know, there are some people, I was talking with someone and I said, even though it was a winter situation, and the person said he's not had bath for like 3 days. I said, say it's stressful having bath. So if it's such a person, he will put it there. So everything that is causing you stress, you need to write all of them down. So Chima, welcome. How are you? Greetings from Dublin. Thank you, gracious, great. God bless you. How is Dublin? I hope Dublin is treating you guys well. All right, so find a notebook and write down all the things that are causing you stress. Pour it all out on that notebook. Everything. If you don't feel like somebody will see your notebook later, code some of the things, okay? Then when you finish, you now take your biro with red biro and mark the ones that you can avoid. There are some stress that can be avoided. Then you now find ways to cope with those negative stressors that cannot be avoided. So those ones that you can avoid, mark them with red. The ones that you're not sure, mark them with yellow. The ones you're sure you can manage, mark them with green. Then over time, managing your stress level will help you to lower your risk of stress-related diseases. All the diseases that come from it, and it will also help you to feel better on a longer way, okay? So some basic ways to start managing your stress right now. Remember I said there are 3 groupings for you: the ones you can avoid, the ones you're not sure of, and the ones you feel you can manage. So the ones you can avoid, map out how you can avoid them and begin to avoid them. I had a situation where I had to map out some of the things that are causing me stress, and some of them were human beings. Some people who cause you stress could be human beings. And I decided, you see, as I just struck out those people. Let me tell you the secret of one of the things I do. For some of those people, I archive them. I archive their number, so I don't have to get anything from them. And I just, I put a cross on anything that will bring me across such people. Because look, this life is too short for you to come and be wasting your time on somebody who is stressing you up. The same way you treat a human being who is a stress that you can avoid is the same thing you treat situations that are stressful in your life that you can avoid. One of the things that will stress me is going to market. I have, for more than 20 years, I've not entered any market. Say, how much is tomato? how much is no. I find people to do my shopping for me. When they come back, anything, I'm okay. I just train. When I train such a person, they have a taste of what I do. Going to market, I used to enjoy it when I was younger, but after a time I found out that it was stressful for me, so I marked it. In fact, today, after doing all the things I did today, I've also decided some of the things I'm going to cross out. So find out those things, cross them out, so that you can remove all the stress in your life. Then the ones that you can manage, you now find out how to manage them. So those are the ones we're going to talk about right now. Okay, you need to maintain a healthy diet. That's where to start from. Because if you don't have a healthy diet, if you're not eating nutritious food, forget it. Well, even if you manage stress, physical things, you're still going to get some kind of physical health stress in you. So you need to start from healthy diet. And let me tell us the truth. As long as you have reached your 40, 45, 50, 55, you cannot get all the nutrients you need. When we're talking about nutritious food, healthy diet, it can be nutritious, but it will not meet up the nutrition that your body needs, because you have come up to a level where you have hormonal issues you're dealing with. Estrogen level, progesterone and things like that are no more how they are supposed to be. So you need supplementation. I can't emphasize that. I'm not coming here to tell you buy from me. You need supplementation. Go and find good supplements that you can use. I have a lot. You can chat me on my WhatsApp number +234 703 515 1642 and I'll guide you. But if you're going to stress, go and get B12, Active C. These two supplements, you need them. These are the things that will help you and help your diet. They will help to you to meet up that nutritional gap you're having in the food you're eating. If you're having stress, anxiety, irritability, mood changes, mood swings and things like that, Active C, B12, very, very important for you. Memory issue, you're working, your memory is no more the way it's supposed to be, you need these two supplements, Active C and B12, and they're going on a very good promo at this period. Okay, so I'm going to put my WhatsApp number for those who might need it. My WhatsApp number is +234 703 515 1642 +234 703 515 1642. Okay, so that's my WhatsApp number. You can chat me on my WhatsApp number so you can get some of these things. Nutritious, dense diet, meeting the gap of them, especially for that you did these two. Okay, and if you're someone who is looking for, I want a singular supplement, I'm not having issues, but I want a singular supplement as a general health, Forever Daily is taking every day. This is my own. It's good for you, but for women generally we use Vitalize Women. Okay, all right. So then number 2, aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. Especially at this age, you have to plan it. So if it means, like, let's use our finger to count, you retire around 9, maybe you'll be sleeping off around 9:30 to 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Okay, so by 5:30 you are awake, and then you begin your devotion. I've already gotten 8 hours. Or maybe you're the type that you can't sleep off on time, so you retire around 10. Then by 10:30 you're sleeping off. But please, no matter what happens, make sure you retire before 11 p.m. Because when you have the deep REM sleep, it's between 11 and 2 a.m. 11 to 12 to 1 to 2, those 3 hours. So it's better for you to retire before 11, so that you'll be able to get that. The repair time is around that 11 to 2, 3, 4 a.m. Now you are sleeping at those particular times that I have mentioned. Then the third thing to manage stress is to exercise regularly. Every Saturday we go on our exercise and we talk about our exercise and fitness. Okay, Hello, Abiodun Janet, you're welcome. Mabel, Kadi, Sam, Alice, Promise, Uche. Good evening, Promise, Uche. How are you? Okay, I'll be back to welcome. Thank you all. So regular exercise is very, very important. Go on my Saturday videos and we talk a lot about that. Then you need to minimize your use of caffeine and alcohol. Minimize your use of caffeine and alcohol. Stay socially connected so that you can get and give support. You see what I said? Not just getting support, but giving support. And that's one of the things I do. I have my team where we get support and we give support. So I train you on how you can give other people support using your hobbies, your talents, and things you need to do. Chat me on my WhatsApp number and I'll tell you how to do so. Make time to rest and relax. Not just sleeping time. Time to rest and relax. Okay, and find out what will relax you and make sure you do it then. Another thing that could help you in managing stress is learning meditation techniques that can help you. Okay, like deep breathing. I also talked about meditation on Saturday, so you can go and watch my Saturday video. If you can't manage your stress, or if it's accompanied by anxiety or depression, you need to seek medical help immediately, because this condition can be managed with some treatment. But first of all, what I will advise, if you're just at that verge and you're beginning to feel, take these 2 supplements. Take them for 2-3 months, and I'm sure they are going to do you a lot of good. And we even have another super one, even though it's not in Nigeria. That one is by pre-order, that I get it for people. It's very, very fantastic for managing stress. It's Forever Focus. Fantastic. In fact, people who have a lot of issues with memory, mind, anxiety, depression, this is their one-stop, last bus stop. But usually it's pre-ordered. It's by pre-order that we get it for people. All right. Okay, so why stress is a normal way of life? Too much of stress is harmful for you. It's harmful for your physical being. It's harmful for your mental well-being. It's harmful generally, because remember, like I said, when one area of health is being disturbed, like in the 8 dimensions of health, it affects every other area. Okay, but there are many things to manage stress, which we have discussed today. There are so many things you can do to make sure that you are away from anxiety, depression, and the things like that. So you can please help me to share this video so that everyone can get it. Today we looked at, is stress bad? Is all stress bad? We also defined stress, and we talked about stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. We looked at the 3 types of stress, which is acute stress, episodic or acute stress, or severe stress, and chronic stress. And I told us the difference between these 3. Okay, we also looked at causes of stress and then symptoms of stress, which come with headache, ulcer, eating, too much eating, stress at work, anxiety, and we talked about stress management. It's a full video that we have done on stress today, and on Saturday we also looked at some of the exercises you can do that can help you to handle stress. Someone made a demand that I should talk about stress and depression. That's why I just took out this week to handle stress. So we're going back to our menopausal issue from next week. Thank you all for joining me. If I don't have any question, then we'll call it a day today, okay? Good evening, Abiodun. I've greeted you. Okay, I think I've greeted everyone. Thank you all for joining me. Please do me a favor. Share this video. If you're going to share, let me give us 1 minute to just put a 1 on the comment section for me. If you're going to, if you found value today, give me a 1 on the comment section. If you're going to share this video, give me a 1 also on the comment section. I will deeply appreciate it. And remember, again, like I said, we are in several social media. In YouTube, we are there. If you type Aging with Grace, for your friends who don't like Facebook, please give them our YouTube channel, Aging with Grace. In TikTok, we have some short, fine videos on TikToks, you can give it to them. And Instagram, we are also Aging with Grace. Feel free to share, feel free to follow, feel free to like, feel free to ask questions on this our social media platforms. And please connect with us on WhatsApp also on +234 703 515 1642. Thank you all. Love you all. Hello, Ngozi Ara. I just saw you now. Did anybody give me one? Nobody gave me one. Oh. Hey. This my people. Oh. Anyway, God bless you. See you next week, Monday. And for those of you who join us on Wednesday for our cooking time, see you Wednesday 3 p.m. Love you all. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.